I'm going to demonstrate a different design for a rocket. I'll call this the sphere design. If you want it in a nutshell, just think of a skyrocket and you've pretty much got all the features of this design. It has the rockets towards the front of the rocket, the rocket engines towards the front of the rocket. The whole point is to keep the center of mass forward of the center of lift at all times. And in my opinion, I think this design adds stability. Okay, to demonstrate that, I'll compare it to a very similar traditional design rocket. Refer to this one as the arrow design. I've tried to make both rockets as similar as possible. They've both got about the same thrust to weight ratio. Put the command pod down as close to the center of mass as I can make it. I also set up the fuel priority to drain fuel from the bottom of the ship, of the vessel first. It does this in both designs, just to try to keep that consistent. For the test itself, I just use MechJeb, so the flight profiles are pretty much the same, and I'll try to get into orbit. I'll just do a very aggressive turn after 1 kilometer. Okay, let's see how we go. Roll that always happens. Okay, the ascent turn's starting now. And the rocket has become unstable. I think you'd agree that it's not going to recover from the instability. There's just not enough torque in the command prod. Something else I should mention, I've also locked the gimbal of the nozzle, just so I don't want gimbling in either of the vessels. It just confuses the experiment. Okay, we'll launch the sphere design and see what happens. Starting. It's obviously a lot more stable than the arrow design. Wobbles around a little bit, but that's to be expected. There's not a lot of torque in that command pod. And there's also no gimbling of the engines, so there's no steering commands getting to those engines. see that MechJeb calls this gravity turn, but in my opinion this isn't a gravity turn. This is just an ascent turn. Gravity turns something a little bit different, and this isn't it. Okay, we're just getting the shock effects now, but these are all for show really. As long as nothing's overheating, you just don't worry about it. These are cosmetic and you can actually just switch them off if you don't like them. Some people don't like them. Okay, it's just coasting up to the edge of the atmosphere. Doing a little bit of apocalypse maintenance there. Okay, it's reached the edge of the atmosphere. So MechJeb will just time warp it to save a little bit of time. Okay, it's reached orbit. And that is quite a low eccentricity, so that's not a bad orbit at all. So I think I've demonstrated some of these alternate designs. Can have some benefits like a reduction in part count or an improvement in stability or whatever. I haven't really checked any of the other advantages other than the stability and the it's not really a reduction in part count because you actually have to have symmetric engines, but obviously, you know, the Arrow design, if you wanted to make it more stable, you'd just put some fins at the back of it, so just to ensure that the center of lift is below the center of mass at all times as the tanks drain and so forth. Okay, thanks very much.